Greetings everyone and welcome back. This is Marco and today we're taking a look at the Nikkor 80 to 200mm f2.8. This is the second version of the 80 to 200 and the first with autofocus, produced between 1988 and 1992, and recognizable by the autofocus selector here. Let's take a closer look. The lens is made of metal, it weighs around 1280 grams, it is 17.6 to 18.8 centimeters long, it has an external diameter of 86 mm with a 72 mm front thread. The iris has 9 blades, the aperture is clicked and it goes from f2.8 to f22 without half steps. The zoom and focus barrel is rubberized, it turns 120 degrees and minimum focusing distance is around 1.5 meters. And it uses the screw drive autofocus system. Above the aperture ring there's the auto and manual focus selector, while near the front there's a ring to select the autofocus range. Zooming happens internally, but when focusing the front turns. The Nikon F mount has a flange distance of 46.5 mm. It is big and heavy and it lacks a collar or even a spot to put one, so you have to be very careful or it might break the mount of your camera. It does feel more secure on a Nikon film camera, but I still wouldn't wave it around. If anything, the weight is well distributed and it's not front heavy. Sharpness wide open is good at 80 mm, although a bit lacking in detail, but poor at 200. By f8 it gets very sharp at 80 mm, while at 200 the corners are still softer and even in the center it is not as good. And here you can see how much it distorts. Chromatic aberration is present and can occasionally be seen even up to f8, but it's usually only distracting wide open. Colors are a bit warm with good contrast and saturation. Specular highlights can be big and soft, but stopping down they get visibly geometrical. Backgrounds and autofocus areas can be smeared, but with the right amount of separation can also be very soft. Flares are mostly well controlled and it can occasionally lose contrast when shooting towards a strong light. say this lens is big and unwieldy, but with great potential. As other zooms in this range, it can get very soft at 200mm, and different copies might yield different results, depending on how well they were assembled and kept over the years. It can isolate the subject beautifully, but the smearing in the corners and out of focus areas can be unpleasant and distracting. The lack of a color is a significant drawback and has to be taken in consideration, because if you want to use it on a tripod, you'll have to rig it up with rods and supports. And that is it for today. As always, let me know your thoughts. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!